I decided to go ahead and set up my tent because I needed to check too for any tears, and I also will have someone spray water on it while I'm inside it, and so that way I can make sure and check for leaks, because if we're out in the field and there's a downpour, obviously you just do not want to get wet. That's the number one thing we want to protect ourselves from. So this was the tent I was talking about, and it's called tarp tent, and the beauty of this is it sets up with the hiking poles. You can see here's my extended hiking pole. It just uses one hiking pole on this side. It uses my other hiking pole on this side, and that sets up the frame. That sets up the entire frame, and it's really makes the tent lightweight because you're carrying nothing but the tent itself. And I have 4 tent stakes, which are aluminum and very light. So that's the best tent I could find for the weight. I think it goes near $200, but it's fully enclosed. I'm not sure how well you can see in here. Oh, not bad. It's fully enclosed. At the bottom, there's a mesh bag, or a mesh mat all the way around it, so nothing can get in. And it's like this so it can ventilate, because if you don't have ventilation, the condensation, you get water all on the walls of the tent. So that's why they have that built, so that there's a mesh bag along the floor. But they have it designed so it raises up off the floor so that water won't get in if it's raining. So it's fully enclosed, but then I can zip it up and make it fully enclosed. So just wanted to give you an idea of the lightest tent I could find that I really like. So if you really get into the hiking, definitely check out tarptent.com. And you can also look at this when we're camped out there. Okay, and packing for the trip, I'll have these ready to go inside right on the front seat of my car, because we'll be going in starting Thursday evening. And so I'll just have my hiking poles ready, my shirt ready, my pants, my boots, my sock liners, and my socks. That I will have sitting on the front seat of my car. And now I will pack my backpack. Okay, and the first thing I'll do is what I showed in one of my videos. I'll go ahead and place my thermarest inside the backpack so it'll act as a frame for the backpack. Alright, so I have my backpack and the blue pad, which I sleep on. And now I'm going to go ahead and see if you can see it there. Now I'll go ahead and start stuffing it, since I have that working as a frame. So here's that box of 55-gallon drum liners, which I showed earlier that I use for rain protection. And since I have a bunch, I'll bring them. If you guys want a couple of them, you can have them. What I also use them for, though, is there's a lot of things you're going to carry that you don't want to get wet. What I'm going to do is, since I don't need to access these until we get ready to camp at night, I'm going to put them at the bottom of my backpack. And I want to make it so if it rains, I don't want these to get wet. Because if you get down wet, or obviously your bag's wet, it's a miserable night. You don't really have anything to sleep in. So let's go ahead and pack them into this. So in goes one backpack, or one sleeping bag. There goes the other sleeping bag. So those are the first things, because I don't want those to get wet. Now what I also want to add to this rainproof bag are any clothes that I don't want to get wet. So I will put my backup sock liners in the bag. I'll add one of my thin upper body shirts, the polyesters, in here. I'll add a second polyester shirt. I think I'm going to take 3 of them. So that makes 2 in this bag. And in deciding, I'm going to add my 3rd polyester shirt to this sleeping bag, because we'll be hiking in starting in the evening, and I will have my beanie out and my rain windbreaker, which I think is going to be enough to keep me warm till we get to camp. So this stuff I want to keep dry. And it's kind of hard to access once you stick it at the bottom of your backpack. So it's just trying to make decisions on how to work with this stuff. My
polyester legs pants. I want to keep that dry, so I'm going to put it in the bag. This won't be something I'll need till I get to camp, more than likely, so I can pack that in this bag and put it at the bottom. Okay, it's a little tricky. You want to squeeze all the air out of it and push down to get the air out of that bag, and then it kind of squishes together. And I'll go ahead and put a little tie wrap on this, and then I'll put that into my backpack. Down to tie wrap. So I'll tie wrap that. You don't want, put a tie wrap on it. Twist that, and then I don't need this extra part of bag. Probably just cut it about right here. Now I can put it in the backpack. And there is that part. So it starts to fill out the backpack really nicely. And there it is, the bag inside the sleeping pad, which makes a frame for the backpack. And it's really pretty good to go so far. Okay, I will stick the fuel canister and stove inside the backpack on the sides of the blue support pad, and I won't put it near my back. I don't want to be feeling anything sticking into my back. So there's a lot of room down here, and the stove fits nicely here. On this side, I'll put the fuel canister, and this goes in between the backpack and that blue pad, because I don't want anything to tear the plastic that's protecting my clothes from any rain. Okay, and then the fuel canister sits right there. So I got the stove and fuel canister in there. This cup I keep out because I'll put it on an outside pocket, because I want to be able to take it out and drink water out of a clean stream if I need to. And also, this can tear the plastic that I use to cover my clothes and sleeping bag in there, so I don't want that to tear that. So I'll keep that outside on this pocket. Okay, now I want to place some heavier stuff inside, because I want the heavier stuff to rest on the bottom, and also stuff that doesn't have pointy edges that can kind of tear any of that plastic in there. So what I'll do is start with my meals. This is for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, because we're hoping to come out Sunday. So I'll place these inside the backpack. And again, this goes on the side in between the blue liner and just the tent. And I want to make sure not to put it where my back is going to be. I just push the meals down. There it is. I push the meals down in the side. I'll put the next big meal into the backpack between the sleeping pad. So putting it in right now. Sliding it down. And that meal sits right in here. And again, the meal is right on the other side of the backpack here, but it's on this side of the blue styrofoam pad, because I don't want anything to tear my plastic in there. Now these, I love fruit strips because they're great energy and they're sealed, so I can just stuff them down the sides of the backpack. So I'm just going to drop them in around the side, and they sit real nicely at the bottom, and they're a little heavier than the other items, so it's good to have at the bottom of the backpack. So as you can see, it's holding a nice form, and it's not super heavy, so far so good. I decided to have oatmeal for each morning, so I wrapped my own oatmeal in little individual plastic bags and put it in one big plastic bag, and then sealed it so it won't get wet, and I'll stuff that in here. Okay, for the water bottles, I like to keep one out, so if I get thirsty, get all the water out of it. I keep one on the outside pocket so I can access it. This helps hold it in. Now I only need one while I'm hiking there, so I'll put this other one on the inside of the backpack, because one right now is enough. Okay, now I'll stuff my dehydrated mango bags in here. Super, super light. These are my favorite things for energy. And since they're sealed, they don't give off a smell, which is great. And I just stuff them in the sides of the backpack. Okay, so far so good. Not too super heavy. I got everything packed in there that I showed you. So let's see what else I can find. I'll stuff in my rain pants. Usually you don't need these too often, so I'll kind of put them about in the middle of the pack on the side. And then this is my rain jacket and my windbreaker, which if it got a little cool out when we're starting in Thursday, I might want to use. So I'll keep that up near the top of the backpack. Okay, now I can attach my tent, and this is what's nice, I really like about this backpack is I can put that on the outside. And as you can see, the tent straps on real nicely when I get it in there. Pull it tight, pull it, everything's attached, and the backpack's real nice with the tent on its back right here. I think about the last thing I need to get is the net bag. And for the net bag that I showed you in the previous video, this sits at the top of the backpack because you might want to get into it for the gloves, the beanie, the sunglasses, etc. But I want that stuff to make sure to stay dry as well, so I place that in a bag, and I just take a tie wrap to it, and then I place that at the very top of the backpack. So do that. Wrap that up like so. Do a tie wrap, and then I just cut it a little bit off there, and then I place this at the very top of the backpack. And then I'll place my hat and sunglasses at the top, because when we hike we want to be able to access those. So those will go at the top. And then I'll cinch it up. It's all clipped and ready to go. Okay, I just wanted to give you a general idea of how I pack my pack and how I have my poles, my outfit and my shoes, socks, sitting in the car so I can get immediately dressed, then pick the pack up and go. I'm still debating on, there's other things I'm going to add to my pack, obviously. I didn't show a map. I'm still debating on that umbrella. Let's see how the weather is. I don't like to carry that weight, and especially we have the extra plastic bags. I didn't put those in my backpack, but I will add one of those, and I'll have extra bags for you at the trailhead if you want one. The full body bag that can protect against the rain. And I'm debating if I want to bring one more pair of socks or not. So there's a couple things there. But the core, what you saw I packed, I weighed it was 15 pounds. I don't expect you to get it that lightweight, but if you could work towards lower 20s, that would be fabulous for just starting out hiking. Okay, can't think of anything else right now. I will let you know what I add to my pack in an email, but I think that should do it for videos. I hope these helped a bit, and I look forward to seeing you on Thursday, and hopefully the weather will hold so we can climb Mount Whitney.